So in the previous class we had discussed about the different nutrients required by our body, that is carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamin, minerals, water and roughage, and the importance of balanced diet. So now in this class we will discuss about the cooking of food and the preserving of food. So first of all we should know the importance of cooking the food, why we should cook the food. Fruits are generally eaten raw. We are eating them raw. Some vegetables also we are eating raw, like cucumbers and carrots. They are eaten raw. But there are many other vegetables like brinjal, potato. So many vegetables are there that we cannot eat raw. We have to cook them before eating. So there are few reasons behind that, because if we eat the vegetables without cooking, then it is very difficult for us to digest them. And another thing is, when we are eating them raw, we are not getting any taste, or it is not soft or chewable. So we are making, or we are cooking the food to make it soft, tasty and chewable. And most important thing is, cooked food is easy to digest. That is why we have to cook the food before eating. So some vegetables we are eating raw, but many other vegetables we are cooking. We are making different types of dishes from them. For example, potato we are using in curry also, and then using the potato we can make the chips. Similarly, rice is boiled before eating, and the rice is also used to make idli and dosa. So we are cooking the food, we are adding the spices and salt to give them taste, because if the food is not tasty, we don't want to eat. So that is why cooking also makes the food tasty, soft, chewable and easy to digest. So cooking food makes the food soft, chewable, tasty and easy to digest. That is why we are eating cooked food. Some vegetables we are eating raw, and some fruits are generally eaten raw. But there are some good cooking habits also. While cooking, we must follow those good cooking habits. Otherwise, the nutritional value of the food, or fruits or vegetables, that are getting lost. That is why we should follow some good cooking habits to get the best nutritional value from the vegetables. So when we use fruits and vegetables, that should be washed 2 to 3 times before use, so that the germs and dirt will be removed. And vegetables, when we are cutting them for cooking, we are cutting the vegetables, that should not be washed after cutting. We should wash the vegetables before cutting. If we will wash them after cutting, then the nutrients present in them also get washed away. Then boiled and steamed food, you might have seen that doctors are always prescribing boiled food or steamed food, because this retains the nutrients present in the food. Overcooked food, or fried food or roasted food, that destroys the nutrients present in the food. That is why we should avoid the over frying or roasted food, and we should not overcook the food, because it destroys the nutrients of the food. We should not use refined flour or maida in a large quantity. Means we can use, but it should be not overuse. So we have to avoid overuse of refined flour. We should eat all the seasonal fruits and vegetables. And sometimes you might have seen that before cooking, our mothers are soaking the pulses and rice in water, so that this water also should not be thrown away, because since they soak the pulses and rice in water for some time, that water is now containing the nutrients. So the water is now rich in nutrients, so we should not throw them. We can use the water for cooking. So some few good cooking habits are there, which are very important to follow, because this retains the nutritional value of the food. Otherwise the nutritional value of the foods are getting destroyed. Like, we should wash fruits and vegetables before use. We should not wash the vegetables after cutting. We should wash them before cutting. Then we should avoid the overcooking, over frying and roasted food. We are eating the fried food and roasted food, but we should not eat in a daily basis. It is not good to eat every day the fried food or roasted food or overcooked food, because here the nutrients are already destroyed. Then we should avoid the overuse of refined flour or maida. Then we should eat all the seasonal fruits and vegetables, and the water in which the pulses or rice are soaked before cooking, that water also should not be thrown away, because that water contains nutrients, so we can use them for cooking. So these are the few good cooking habits. And you might have observed, after cooking food also, if it is kept for few days, 1 or 2 days, then a bad smell or foul smell is coming from the food. So that time when the smell becomes foul or very bad, that time the food is said to be spoiled. That means food is said to be spoiled. Now we should not eat those type of food. So food gets spoiled when it is exposed to air and moisture. When it is coming in contact with the air and moisture, that time the food gets spoiled, because some bacteria are also present in the air. You might have seen, you can observe this, you can take 2 slices of bread, you can moisten the bread with few drops of water. You can take a slice of bread, you moisten that bread and keep that slice for 2 to 3 days. After that, you can observe that a brownish green layer is forming on that bread, because you had left it in the open for a long time, and due to the presence of microbes or bacteria in the air, that green layer, brownish green layer has formed on that means the bread is now spoiled. That means we should not eat the spoiled food. So the food are getting spoiled because of the presence of microbes or bacteria in the air. So if we want to store food for a long time, we have to preserve them. Sometimes we are keeping the food item in freeze, so that is also a kind of preservation. That means we want to store the food for a long time, so that time we have to preserve the food. Preserving food, that means preserve the nutritional value of food by the process of preservation, that is called food preservation. The method used to preserve the nutritional value of food for a long time, that is called food preservation. And there are different ways or different methods to preserve the food. So different ways by which the food is preserved, these are boiling, freezing, canning, drying and adding preservatives. So first of all we will see boiling. You have seen that when milk is coming from the market, then first thing what we are doing is boiling the milk, because boiling kills the germs. So if any germs is present, then the boiling, by the method of boiling, that germs will be killed. So the boiling kills the germs present in it. That is why the milk can be stored for a longer time. So this is a method of preservation. Like milk, water, we are boiling the water. It should be means doctor always says that boil the water before you drink, because boiling kills the germs. So water, milk can be preserved by boiling, because boiling also can kill the bacteria or the germs. Then next is our freezing. We are using refrigerator to store food items. So here also by freezing also we can preserve the food items for few days, because in the freeze the temperature is very low. Inside the refrigerator or the freeze the temperature is very low, and the low temperature does not allow the growth of microbes. In the low temperature the microbes cannot grow, because the microbes need warm temperature to grow. Since inside the freeze temperature is low, the microbes are not allowed to grow, or the growth of microbes are getting disturbed. That is why the food items can be kept for a longer time. So this is also a method of preserving the food, by keeping the food items in the freeze. Next method is our canning. Canning means tightly packed. Canning means the cans are tightly packed. You might have seen that when you are bringing juices or jams from the market, so these are packed in a can and it is very tight. So that is why these items are sealed in cans, so that we can preserve the food items. So when we seal the jams or juices in a can, it is not coming in contact with the moisture, or it removes the moisture from them. That is why the growth of microbes are getting disturbed, because microbes also need moisture to grow. So since the food items inside the can, when it is tightly packed, they are out, means they are not getting contact with the moisture, the microbes are not able to grow and the food items are preserved. Next is our drying. Drying also is known as dehydration. Drying means we are preserving the food items by drying the food. So by drying the food, that means dehydration means the amount of water is lost from the food item, that is called dehydration. So dehydration, that means the water is lost. We are drying in the sun, so that the water will be lost, completely lost from the food item, and that can be stored for future use. These are normally used as a flavoring agent, like food is dried or dehydrated to preserve it. For example, you can take red chilies and mint leaves. They are dried and then they can be used later for flavoring agent. As a flavoring agent we can use them. So we can preserve the food items by drying. Then adding preservatives, this is also a method of preserving food. The substance which is used to preserve food, that is called preservatives. So the substance which is used to preserve food, these are called preservatives, like salt, sugar, oil. These are known as preservatives. Salt, sugar, oil, these are added to certain foods so that the growth of microbes will be slowed down. If we will add salt, sugar or oil, then the growth of the microbes will be slowed down. For example, you might have seen when pickles are made at our home, then we are adding salt and oil. Jams and jellies, they have jellies we are bringing from the market, jam or jelly, so they have sugar in them. So that is why these are act as a preservative. The salt or the oil and the sugar, these all are acting as a preservative to preserve the food for a longer time. You have seen that pickles are once made, means whole year we can use them, because we are adding salt and oil so that the microbes cannot grow on them and the pickles are not getting spoiled. Similarly, jams and jellies, they have sugar in them. That is why the microbes cannot grow on that, and we can store them or we can preserve them for a long use. So these are the few methods of preserving food by which we are preserving the food or we are storing the food for a long time. So along with this, read your book, whole chapter you please read, and learn all the new terms for you. Then in the next class we will discuss the question answer.